It's time for Remodel Revolution. And now, an award-winning contractor with over 40 years experience. Here is Alex Guthrie.
Welcome to another episode of Remodel Revolution. I'm your host, Alex Guthrie. This is the show where there are no sports, no politics, and no mean people. That's why I have with me today as co-host my very good friend, Poonam J. Patel of Urban Loop Studios.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. We have a fantastic show today. You have done so much work to get this series of yours done. It's very enjoyable to watch it, and it's real interesting, all of the things that you've brought into your series. So tell us about your series, Poonam's Pandemic Projects.
Absolutely. So welcome to Poonam's Pandemic Projects, where you guys get to enjoy design tips that you can implement in your home for over the weekend to make quarantine more enjoyable. So this is our fifth one, would you say?
I think it's a fifth.
Fifth or sixth. So if you haven't seen the first few, definitely check them out. The premise is basically, as I had mentioned, just short, very quick things that you can do around your house over the weekend to really improve your lifestyle during quarantine while still managing to love your loved ones and not be totally annoyed by them.
So, you're awfully optimistic.
It's
early yet.
I love my me time, and I just haven't been able to get it during quarantine because I have so many amazing, lovely family members. And, on the contrary, I know some other people are kind of feeling lonely. They depend on their coworkers at work to kind of fill in that need of social interaction. But for me and, a lot of people that I've just been chit-chatting with over my Zoom calls, it's a huge thing. This whole pandemic quarantine thing is such a big deal. And so Poonam's Pandemic Projects is here to provide short, quick things that you can do over the weekend and just improve your lifestyle one project at a time.
So today we have really a great show today. It's really going to be a lot of fun. We have Safrina Kadri.
Yes.
Is it Kadri?
We'll let her tell us how to pronounce it.
We're going to do Feng Shui.
Yes. So one of the things that I'm so obsessed about that I've always wanted to learn about is ancient Asian practices of how to live in harmony with the world and nature through the principles of Feng Shui. And I don't know enough about it, so we have for you such an amazing treat. We're going to Zoom call Safrina in. So why don't we Zoom her in and give her a nice round of applause and welcome.
All the way from Canada.
Yes. Hello.
Good morning.
You're on mute. Can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Sorry.
There you are. It's okay. It's okay. We loved watching your lips work.
Hi. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Welcome, Safrina. I'm so excited that I found you online. One of the coolest things about doing this podcast is we get to bring in and meet so many amazing people. And even you internationally, you're in Canada, right?
Yes, I am.
That's so amazing. So tell us a little bit about Feng Shui, how you got into it, and what is it?
Well, just really quickly, how I got into it was, I was single and I was tired of being single, and I grew up in Southeast Asia. And so Feng Shui has always been a big thing, but I only really gave it a try when I was desperate enough to give it a try because everything else in the dating scene was not working for me. I do have a couple of slides, which I will share with you guys.
So that's interesting. Feng Shui seems to be working for relationships outside of the purpose that we have you here, which is for home Feng Shui and peace and energy.
Yeah, it's great for health, magnetizing more health, which is what we're going to talk about because obviously the pandemic is happening right now. Personally, in my own life, it's helped me attract my husband. We've been married 17 years now.
Wow.
I call him my Feng Shui husband. And we also have two beautiful girls. They're also my Feng Shui babies because I had trouble conceiving. And yeah, 10 plus years ago, I made it my business.
What
So
is the
it's been-
basic philosophy behind Feng Shui that brings all of these wonderful things to you?
Sorry, come again?
What is the basic philosophy behind Feng Shui?
The basic philosophy is that just like Cliff Notes version, is there's 3 levels of energy. There's heaven energy, earth energy, and mankind. So it's a little woo-woo out there, but I'll try to make it a little bit more mainstream in that heaven is what kind of family you're born into, what part of the world you're born into, right? People have different experiences, but just based on that. Heaven energy is, earth energy is Feng Shui, meaning, homes and buildings sit on the earth, right? So the energy that you surround yourself in also impacts your life. And there's also mankind energy, which is our own actions, our own decisions, our self-sabotage, our discipline. So really the basis of Chinese metaphysics is this holisticness. So don't think that you can do Feng Shui and everything will be rosy if your mankind luck, for instance, is not meeting the Feng Shui halfway, so to speak. So
it's a way to live your life, not just decorate the house.
Exactly. And that's part of what I think the Western world is missing. And that's been my mission really the past 10 years, to break a lot of these myths and help with the paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Very interesting.
So our purpose today for renovations and home design, it sounds like we'll be diving into the earth energy. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So is it okay if I start sharing the slide?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
And then, so the first one is what is Feng Shui? Now, if you go online, if you read in books, you get the diluted explanation that Feng Shui is the Chinese art of placement. But really, it is so much more than that. True classical Feng Shui factors in time, compass direction, and physical structure in order to calculate the auspiciousness or positivity or lack of positivity in a space. So that really is the proper definition of Feng Shui. So there's a lot of information that's needed before I can even tell my clients what they need to put in their homes.
So why is the compass portion so important? Why is that a big deal?
Oh, let me share this one here then. The compass is important because that's part of our calculation of the energy. So I have this term I call fast food Feng Shui.
That'll work here.
Which is in 95% of the Feng Shui information, English Feng Shui information, online, even in printed books, it's not proper Feng Shui. It's diluted, it's bastardized. They just take the basic formula and they invent something out of that. The way I'm trained, my Feng Shui lineage is traced all the way back in China. And I follow what I call my grandmaster. I follow how my grandmaster did it back in olden day China. So ours is very powerful when done correctly. So compass direction in Feng Shui, there's this term we call 24 mountains, or if any of your viewers know Chinese, it's 24山. So you have the 4 cardinal directions, the north, south, east, west. You have the 4 ordinal directions, which is northwest, northeast, southeast, southwest, and even the intercardinal directions, right? So there's, all in all, that there's 16 pieces of the pie, so to speak, in the 360 degrees of a compass. if you work with one tip with your viewers to know whether they're engaging with a proper Feng Shui consultant or not, is ask them, do you use a compass? Because in the fast food Feng Shui world, many consultants don't even have a compass. They don't even know how it comes into play with the Feng Shui that they practice.
So
I use my air quotes.
are you speaking literally or philosophically compass?
A proper compass.
Mm-hmm. A proper
Yeah,
compass.
a proper compass.
Okay.
Mine is kind of out of reach right now, but even if you get a compass from like Walmart or any of the big box stores, or go to the hobby aisle or the fishing aisle, whatever, outdoor stores, just a $15-$20 compass, that's all you need.
The iPhone has a compass app.
Yeah,
Default,
that's
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
In a pinch, you can use it. In a pinch, yeah. But it's always, and the iPhone wins, or the smartphone wins, because you always have it on you, right?
Right. So is the compass, is it important because of how the energy works around the Earth in terms of like its North Pole, South Pole, and all of that? Why is the compass such an important pillar of Feng Shui?
In classical Feng Shui, we can calculate what kind of energy comes through what direction. So if someone says this year, for instance, in 2020, and we'll talk a little bit more in a bit, this year in 2020, one of the most afflicted direction is in the east. So if any of you guys are sitting facing east and you find that your work is not as productive, maybe you're getting sick a little bit more, you're just finding generally more challenges, that's because this year, the energy that's coming from the east is not supportive, not in health, not in relationship, not in finances.
I thought that just had to do with fishing, but now I know that. You know that old, when the wind's from the east, the fishing is the least, but it's Feng Shui.
It's Feng Shui. Someone got it right in the fishing world.
That's right. Fish
Well,
Shui.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So compass direction, and I've seen it. Like, you know, when I used to work for a company, I had a colleague that had the worst time, like with clients, like getting berated on the phone and everything. And I just had her shift so that she's facing a different direction. And then her clients started treating her much better. Actually, she started laughing and joking with them on the phone.
How
It's just
interesting.
because she's now looking at a more supportive direction.
Wow.
And classical Feng Shui can calculate all that. And the direction is part of the formula, so to speak.
Gotcha. And so how does the time influence the formula, basically? Why is it important, and how does it affect it?
So in Chinese metaphysics, and even in science, right? It's all about energy. Feng Shui is about calculating energy. And we look at what is the energy of a specific time frame. So, and on this image that I have here, energy is constantly shifting. It shifts every 20 years, which in Feng Shui, we call a Feng Shui period. The energy changes every year, every month, every day, every 2 hours. So as a proper consultant, when I have a client who has a really important business presentation, for instance, I do a date selection for them. I say, okay, this is the energy for today. This is the 2 hour time frame that you're doing your presentation. Face a specific direction if you can. Mm-hmm. So that is, so between compass and the time. And this is what the Asian magnets, like they have, you know, astrologers, and they do date selection. I believe he's in date selection for weddings, for burial, all that. Time is also a very, very important piece.
And so how can all of these things relate to the physical structure sitting on Earth, and what are some things that people can do in their home that's fairly quick over the weekend to help bring some of that auspiciousness and positive energy into their home, that I'm hoping to learn more about.
Yeah. So I've already kind of alluded to one where the energy this year for 2020, the most afflicted is in the east. So structurally, if your house is located in the east of your home, then every time you open your front door, you're actually bringing in that negative or that afflicted energy. So you're going to find people are getting sick a little bit more, and just getting general blockages. If we kind of want to add into the COVID as a layer, if your front door is in the east, or if your kitchen is in the east of your home, if your bedroom is in the east of your home, because in residential, those are the three main areas: front door, kitchen, and bedrooms, for us to make sure that the Feng Shui is good and supportive. If it happens to be the east this year, people are going to realize that it's definitely a more challenging year. And how they can remedy that is actually by placing more metal. Why metal? Now, just a bit of a Feng Shui 101 education here. Chinese metaphysics is all about 5 different elements: fire, earth, metal, wood, water. And whether you want to activate positive energy or you want to remedy, meaning you want to minimize negative energy, you use these 5 elements. What kind of energy is there will determine what element you need. So the energy that is in the east this year, if you want to remedy that, is to put more metal. So it can be as simple as, let's say you go to a garden store, you get, or an interior decorating store, get a metal statue. If your door happens to be in the east, for instance, then you get metal planters flanking your front door. If this is your kitchen or your bedroom, maybe accessorize more with metal.
So I have a metal bed frame. My bed has got, and it's like the old timey kind, that has the headboard in there. It's all that metal piping looking stuff.
Then and you've already got the remedy.
Yeah, and it's on the east wall, actually. It faces east. And I sleep better.
There you go. Yeah. So proper, and that's the thing, fast food Feng Shui makes you think like you need to buy a dragon or put a laughing Buddha or put whatever Chinese cultural objects. Those are cultural objects. That's why you see them in China, right? But to do Feng Shui, no one needs to even know that you're doing it, because what you're using is the 5 elements.
Very interesting.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it just blends into your decor.
So it could be at Home Depot Feng Shui.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, my clients. It's up to your budget, right? If you have limited budget, go to Salvation Army. Yeah. Find a metal, wall hanging, something like that.
Does it matter what kind of metal? Because I have a lot of copper in my house.
Personally, I like it heavy. So like solid metal would be better. But other than that, if they can't have the actual element, then your viewers can, go to the store, find something that is metallic color. Mm-hmm. So metallic color in Feng Shui is white, or I guess decorators would say shades of white. I mean, it all looks white to me, but there's shades of white, shades of gray, any gold, silver, bronze, copper, those are all fine.
So you would use metal to block negative energy. Do we need to go to a break?
We're going to take a quick break. Will you hang with us and spend about 5-6 minutes with us on the other side of the break?
No problem.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more Feng Shui with Safrina Kadri.
Perfect
The
pronunciation.
hardest working and arguably most important system in our homes is our air conditioning and heating system. It heats the air, it cools the air, and it filters the air. That's why it's so critical to have it checked and maintained by the very best professionals available. It's time to contact Total Air and Heat at totalair.com. Get that system pruned and tuned. If you want to have the very best experience, you've got to hire the very best company. Total Air's employees are honest, well-trained, and thoroughly background checked. I never have to worry about sending their technicians out to my clients' homes. Family owned and operated for 3 generations, Total Air and Heat has been a fixture in North Dallas for over 60 years. Total Air is a proud dealer of the Trane air conditioning systems, and you know how hard it is to stop a train, so give them a call at 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020, or contact them at totalair.com today. Safrina Kadri is a Feng Shui expert, and she's spending some time with us this morning to explain the basics of Feng Shui, and we are learning an awful lot. Welcome back to the show, Safrina, and thank you so much for staying with us.
Oh, thank you, Alex. No problem. Having so much fun. You might need to fork me out.
So we were talking about using metal to sort of block the negative energy if you're in an east room or have a primary entry in your house that comes from the east. That was very fascinating. What's another quick little tidbit we can give a homeowner to help sort of during COVID, bring a little bit of balance?
So the beauty and also sometimes the scary part about classical Feng Shui is the ability to forecast, which not many people realize about Feng Shui. Simply because we analyze and we can calculate the movement of the energy. So the second one, so we talked about the east before. Right now we're going to talk about the center. So if you look at your home, the center usually is the hallway where the highest foot traffic, right? But whatever energy is in the center in any period of time, that's the one that you need to watch out for the most, because that impacts the whole household. The energy in the center for this year, 2020, is actually the energy of illness. When I did my annual training for my students last year, I told them, hang on to your hats. People are going to get very sick this year, and it's a worldwide thing.
That's amazing.
And that energy actually is respiratory illness.
Oh.
Now, in all honesty, I had no idea it was going to get this bad.
Yeah, nobody did.
Nobody did. No one could even call it, right? I thought it was just like, bronchitis or, coughs. But since October last year, I had my clients do this one bit, which your viewers can do. The element that you need in the middle is water, but not moving water. So I don't want anyone to put like a fish tank or even a fish bowl or a water fountain in the center. No, none of that. It needs to be still water. So you take a bowl or a pail, preferably black or blue color, and then you just fill it up with water. I would say at least 2 liters of water so that you have enough of water to minimize that illness energy. But because usually it's in the hallway and with high traffic, then obviously you want to make sure that you put that pail of water where it doesn't get kicked around. But I would have this done before December, because the way we calculate the energy moving forward, December, if some countries are not getting a second wave of COVID, by December, you're going to see most countries struggling with it again.
Wow.
Because that's where we see it having that second peak.
The second peak, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane. Yeah. So real quickly, if metal is one of the 5 elements and metal is going to be used to block the energy, what are the strengths or the superpowers of the other 4? Can you run us through that real quick?
They all the 5 energies have their positive and negative. And when to use these elements really is dependent on what energy we're trying to address. So
there's not a way to really, yeah.
Sorry?
There's probably not a way
So
to.
we just need to call you basically if you want to know more.
We need to do another show because we've just run out of time. Will you come back and do another show with us?
Absolutely.
Okay, that is really, really awesome. You're an amazing lady, and I never knew there was so much. Of course, like you say, we're westernized, and if we can't get it at Walmart or Home Depot, we don't think it exists. And the Feng Shui you're talking about is really an intense philosophy.
Yes, and I love it. Thank you so much for spending time with us today, Safrina, and I look forward to doing this again and learning more from you.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, you guys.
Thank you, and I hope you'll come back and do another one with us soon.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Jamie Gold on. We're going to talk wellness design and Jamie's new book. Stay tuned. I've had the pleasure. The hardest working and arguably most important system in our homes is our air conditioning and heating system. It heats the air, it cools it. Imagine this, a totally customized, organized, and beautiful master closet. A home office that fits right into a perfect space. A pantry designed specifically for your storage needs. Imagine your home totally organized. It's time to call the design professionals at Closets by Design DFW and turn your dreams into a reality. With a design staff over 30 strong, Closets by Design works directly with you to create your dream space, and they build it locally, helping support the DFW community. Check them out at dallas.closetsbydesign.com or call them at 972-361-0010. Use the promo code RRV to find out about the amazing specials and discounts available. That's dallas.closetsbydesign.com or call them at 972-361-0010, and don't forget that promo code RRV. Closets by Design. I've had the pleasure the last couple of years of having some wonderful discussions and interviews with our next guest. Jamie Gold is a designer in California, in San Diego, California, and she has a very unique design business called Wellness Design, which I guess is an original Jamie Gold term. I don't know that for certain, but I was very interested in it. I was reading an article on LinkedIn or Forbes or somewhere, and I went, who is the author of this? This is incredible. And it was Jamie Gold. So I said, I'll just take a wild shot and send her an email and see if I could get her on the show. And she responded immediately, and we've been friends ever since. Welcome to the show, Jamie Gold.
Well, thank you so much, Alex Guthrie. Glad to be here.
It's so great to see you. And during this time of weirdness in our world, you have a design concept called Wellness Design. What is Wellness Design?
Well, in a broad sense, wellness design is creating spaces that support the well-being of those who use them. I can't take credit for crafting that term. I will say that it's so broad, like sustainability is broad, that different people look at different areas of it. And so many of the concepts that we've been working with in design for years, like accessibility, aging in place, and universal design, and non-toxic environments fit into it. And because it's so large, what I have done is take a way to look at it that I think is helpful for people to simplify. And I call it the 5 facets of wellness design. And these are health and fitness, safety and security, accessibility, functionality, and comfort and joy. And you can take pretty much any element of wellness design and fit it into one or more of those facets.
Awesome. Fascinating.
That's amazing. And Jamie, it is a pleasure to meet you. I Alex told me that you guys were going to be on air, so I just decided to stick around. I hope you don't mind, because I'm so excited to learn more about what you have to say. One of the questions I have for you is, how does this wellness design help in the age of COVID?
Well, first of all, I'm glad you're here too. Always nice to meet new people interested in this important area. Wellness design does a lot of things that are related to COVID. Although the book was finished before the pandemic started, so many of the concepts that are included are helpful now. For example, it improves indoor air quality and safety in your home. Adding wellness design components can reduce stress and also simplify chores. I mean, we have so many more things going on right now that the more you can simplify what you have to do to keep your household safe, the better it is, right? Less time scrubbing, more time enjoying your people. With more people working from home right now, you also have the chapter on creating ergonomic work from home spaces. You have study area tips, setting those up so that your kids have a safe, ergonomic way to study, place to study. Easier meal preparation, because so much of what we're eating right now, we're making at home rather than going out for. And this has impacted me personally, is creating a workout space in my home since my gym closed. And I'm in the middle of training to summit Kilimanjaro, and I'm not going to stop working out. But I had to look at ways to create a safe workout area in my home. And I know friends and others are doing this too.
You're not rappelling like off your roof or something, are you?
No.
She's doing backflips.
My living room, which is usually my sanctuary, my quiet zone, my wonderful refuge, is now doing double duty as my workout space.
Awesome.
So I went back to my book when I realized I can't work out at my gym for however long. Where can I set up a space at home to safely work out? And the living room is what it is in terms of working out right now. It's doing double duty. If I look in the corner of the room, I've got my weights there and resistance bands, and I have a rolling ottoman that moves out of the way. And I use this laptop that I'm talking to you on for Zoom sessions with a trainer. And
Awesome.
So my living room has become a part-time fitness area too.
Very awesome. Very awesome. I love that. So, and the virus is kind of coming and going. It seems like it gets a little bit better, and then then we have a spike, and it's sort of kind of going up and down. Nobody really knows what's going to happen in the future. How does wellness design help in us in our kind of daily battle with COVID-19?
That is a great question. And one of the things that research has shown since it started is that polluted air makes us more susceptible. And most people think about air pollution outside their homes, in the streets, from factories and cars. But the EPA says that our indoor spaces can be more polluted than our outdoor spaces. So indoor air quality and addressing that is something you can do with wellness design. For example, adding air filtration, adding plants, looking at radon detectors, and just improving your indoor air quality can help your overall health, particularly in this time when that can be a vulnerability. Also, as I mentioned, reducing clutter. If you have people staying with you, more folks than usual at home, you're eliminating a trip hazard for anyone, and you're also reducing your anxiety. I've done a lot of consulting with people, and what they tell me is clutter makes them feel anxious, it makes them feel stressed, and we all need less of that right now. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Also, adding nature to your space. You might live in a completely urban environment where if you go out on a patio, you don't have trees that you're looking at, you have streets and buildings. So look at adding plants to your environment, especially if you're working from home right now. Give yourself a view to something natural, something that connects you to nature. And if you can, replace standard items with touch-free items so that you're transmitting fewer germs. Now, COVID is mostly transmitted airborne, but as we move into cold and flu season, a lot of those germs will stay on things like faucets and light switches and door handles for days. And that is often how those are transmitted back and forth. So making yourself less vulnerable in that way can enhance your health.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, those are all really great points, especially, the plants. We had done a short segment on the top 10 plants that help clean the air based on a study that NASA did, and I thought that was pretty cool. So thanks for sharing
I've written
that.
about that too.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep them all alive.
That is
I'm
a
not
challenge.
a green thumb.
Well, but you live in California, right? So
I do.
the weather is better there for plants. Right? Compared to Texas,
Yeah.
I mean, it's 100 degrees. It's
Well,
hard.
yeah, if you're
to keep the
outside,
bees
if
alive.
you're a plant outside around here right now, you just hope there's not a lightning strike.
Well, I've started adding plants inside my home too. And I always have fresh flowers, as you can see in my mantle. I'm a big
love
believer in just that comfort and joy element of fresh flowers, and also the air purifying benefits of of plants. So I looked at a list just like that one, Poonam, and said, okay, I need these plants, and they're also hard to kill.
Yeah.
That part was important to me too.
Cactus. I have a jasmine plant outside, and I take one or two and I put it on a small vase and put it right next to my coffee machine. And I have a rule. Every time I make a cup of coffee, I have to smell it.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I love all these pointers that you're sharing with us, and I'm so excited, to really dive into this book that you're creating. One of the questions that come to mind is, certain people are a little bit more vulnerable to the virus, like older people. So, what are a couple of ideas that you have for people that share a space with older relatives?
And you're right, that is such a vulnerable population. It always has been, but even more so right now. So again, addressing indoor air quality is important. Eliminating trip hazards, super important. I mean, we've seen that a fall, which could be easy, you don't even think about, oh, this is in the way, or a pet is the pet's feed bowls are, close to a walk path. And so falls could be so dangerous to seniors. You want to eliminate those. And then if your space allows, have a separate area for them if they are vulnerable because of health conditions, where they can not only sleep, but also relax, enjoy, eat, and make that a sanctuary for them. I know it's not always possible given the space that you have, but where it is, it could be tremendously helpful.
Well, and if you have college kids or you have young children at home that are still in school, of course, they're having to now learn from home. They're staying home. Everybody's sort of housed in there, and a lot of times the parents aren't able to go to an office. They have to stay home. And if you've got the grandparents there as well, boy, it can get crowded. And Jamie, that's just great advice to make sure there's trip hazards and things like that, of course, but then making sure that everybody is taking good care of their clean hands and wear a mask if you need to, if you've gone out, protect the people around you. So Jamie, you wrote a book and it's published and it's coming out, or it's out. Is it already out?
No, 9/1.
9/1.
Oh my gosh, that's coming up so soon.
There it is. All right.
This is it.
All right. Fantastic. I haven't received my autograph.
Next Tuesday.
I haven't received my autograph copy yet, but I know it's coming.
And
but
that's why
I'll buy it.
Officially published.
Well, what made you want to write? I mean, you have so much great information. I know this, but this is your first book, is it?
It's my third.
It's your third book.
It's my third.
You're
the first
amazing.
book was about kitchen design and remodeling. The second book was about bathroom design and remodeling. And when I was finishing that one, my editor said, "So what are you burning to write?" And this goes back to the end of 2016. And I said, what I really want to write is a book about how your home can help support or sabotage your health and fitness. And he loved the idea, but it was too soon. The industry wasn't ready for that yet. Simon & Schuster, one of the largest publishers in the world, was launching a wellness imprint last year. And they said, yes, this resonates with us. We could see the connection between those, because most people don't think, I want to get healthy. They'll say, oh, I'm going to eat more vegetables. I'm going to do more exercise, right? They don't say I'm going to redo my kitchen or bath.
No kidding.
But those spaces and really your whole home can have a tremendous impact. And I learned that along my journey from couch potato to Kilimanjaro
To
trainer.
mountain climber.
And, you know, just the way your bathroom is set up, the way your kitchen is set up, the way your bedroom is optimized for sleep. And I realized so much of this is things I've already talked about and written about, and it all fits into this area called wellness design. And people need to have this, what I call my secret weapon. I don't want it to be secret anymore.
I love it. I couldn't agree with you more. I just think your environment truly has an impact on your entire well-being, you know, and it's no secret. I mean, I always tell people, look at the difference between a prison cell. Why is that such a punishment? Because the design is awful. It's just 4 walls. It's a dark cell, no windows, compared to, think about a hotel or a really nice resort you've been to, the contrast in that. And that journey is, I think you've plugged in the gap there. Wellness and design is the path towards a better lifestyle. I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, thank you. And it's something that I think a lot of design professionals are realizing, that they've always looked at areas of this. They've always enjoyed, you know, creating spaces that made their clients feel good. They've always enjoyed, you know, just creating beauty and adding pampering effects. And the book is, you know, it's about pampering. There are all those luxuries like towel warmers and steam showers, but there are also basic tips for somebody who might be renting their first place that might be almost as small as a prison cell if you've ever lived in New York City.
Oh, yeah,
No
but
kidding.
been there, done that.
Make it nicer, make it friendly, make it safe and well. And of course, there's always been an area of universal design for clients who don't have full mobility, and there's always been building codes about safety. The book takes it a lot further. There are things in there that people may not associate with wellness, like the security of your information on your computer network, which I think is particularly timely with more people working from home now than ever.
Well, that is so amazing, and I'm so happy for you. Now, where's your book going to be released from? How do people find it?
Well, it's going to be in just about every bookstore in the U.S., and there's some Canada overseas too. But the easiest way is to go to my website at jamiegold.net, and they'll see it on the cover. They can also take my 5 Facets of Wellness Design questionnaire there too. And there's links to Amazon, where Prime members get free shipping. And there's also links to Barnes & Noble and IndieBound and Bookshop for independent booksellers. So there's lots of ways that they can get it. And again, it's jamiegold.net. And this Wellness by Design, a room by room guide to optimizing your home for health, fitness, and happiness, is what the book looks like.
Thank you so much for coming on with us today. You're such a joy. I'm so glad that you and Poonam got to meet as well, because I think that I just love you both so much. So you're a wonderful lady. You're incredible. And I know you're going to get to the top of that mountain soon.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan. And I'm doing everything I can. We're not letting pandemic stop that.
There you go. There you go. Thank you, Jamie Gold.
Thank you for having me back. Lovely to meet you, Poonam.
Lovely to meet you as well.
Thank you, Jamie.
And stay well, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. That was Jamie Gold. Jamie's book is Wellness by Design. Check it out. Go get it. She's just got so much great advice. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, more of Remodel Revolution. Man, what a educational day we've had.
I know.
I mean, it's like it's wellness design.
Yeah,
Feng Shui.
I'm gonna put metal on the east side, and I'm gonna go home and put 2 liters of water in the center of the hallway.
Whatever you do, don't walk down there at night.
Oh, my cat's going to start drinking out of it. For me?
That's right. That's right. Well, this has been a fantastic show. Thank you so much for all that you do. Your segment on Feng Shui was really entertaining. And we have to have her back because there's no way that we can get all of this out in one show. There's not enough time.
And next week, we have someone very special joining us as well, Dr. Vaishali Gupta. She's going to educate us on Vastu Sastra, which is the India equivalent of Feng Shui.
Wow.
I'm so excited. I've always wanted to learn about it, but every time I go to India, the books are all in Hindi, and I'm like...
Well, I'm not feeling very smart right now. I'm around all these brilliant women. And I just feel like a regular old guy. It's been a great show. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ziggy Becker with On Air Media. Thank you, On Air Media. Thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors. Thank you to all of our listeners and our viewers. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. And also, check out that podcast. It's on Spreaker, but it's Remodel Revolution. It's on every podcast platform I can get it on. It's everywhere, including Pandora. Heck, you can listen to it while you're driving down the road, going to work, or taking a long trip out of town. We're like everywhere. We're on Apple. We're everywhere. Also, go to Texas Weather Tracker TV on Saturday. If you haven't downloaded the mobile app to Texas Weather Tracker TV, do it. And they're running our show on twice on weekends at 1 and 3. And it's on Apple TV, Roku TV, and Amazon TV.
Wow.
So we're TV stars. Thank you very much. And until next week, we're signing off. Have a great week.
The views and opinions of this program are for educational and entertainment purposes only and are not intended to replace the recommendations of a hired professional. You can catch Remodel Revolution anytime. Follow the show on the website, remodelrevolutionradio.com, or on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, using the handle @Remodel Revolution Radio. You can always listen to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and TuneIn, and watch the show anytime on YouTube.